What's good, y'all? You already know what it is. These women are wilding again. Shout outs to Poor Man Podcast for the video. We got a string of women regretting their divorces. Shocker. Man, I always say, if you're unhappy when you're married, you're going to be unhappy when you're divorced. Happiness is your responsibility, not your partner's. So, like, comment, subscribe for more videos like this, and let's see what they're talking about.
It's just a recipe for disaster. And really the reason why is because they just have too much access to advice from miserable single women. And it's funny because the old trope used to be, if a woman divorces her husband, what did he do wrong? What did you do so wrong that made your wife want to divorce you? But these women who are filing for these divorces are now getting on TikTok and they're saying the quiet part out loud. They're not getting these divorces because they're being abused or that their husbands are habitual cheaters. They're getting these divorces because they say that they're bored. They say that they want to find their own happiness, or they just don't get the same butterflies that they once used to. This video is about the funny part, the part where they have to actually start paying bills and they realize that life isn't free because your husband isn't sponsoring it anymore. These are the
and this is my biggest complaint about the Western women. It's not even that I'm not the type of person that thinks like all women are whores, because I know a lot of women that aren't that. My biggest gripe is that a lot of these American women use marriage. They think the whole point of marriage is for their happiness, and so the second they're no longer happy, they file for divorce. And I see that a lot with a lot of my friends now, because I'm 34, so I'm at that age now where a lot of my friends are going through divorces, and I know they're dudes personally. They're good dudes, hardworking, good parents, all that, and the women are citing that as just they're no longer happy. And we've seen a lot of these videos like that as well, where they're saying, yeah, I was just no longer happy. The dude was perfect. He did everything right. I was just no longer happy. But the problem is marriage was not designed for your individual happiness. It's supposed to be an institution where you guys create a safe, healthy environment for children to thrive in, not for your individual happiness. Happiness comes and goes. Life is difficult. Life has obstacles and challenges. To expect to always be happy 24/7 is ridiculous.
of ladies that blame their unhappiness on everything around them except for themselves. So they changed everything. They got rid of their husband. They got rid of their old life. They moved into a new apartment and they're still miserable. And now that they're alone, they start to realize that after you got rid of everything and you're still miserable, the only common denominator is you. Your marriage wasn't the problem. You were. Why some women are admitting divorce regret. Let's go ahead and get right into the video.
So I'm noticing a pretty disturbing divorce trend happening right now. And that's where you have a woman, right? And she decides to get a divorce to find her happiness, find herself is usually the reason.
Yeah, and we all know what that means. When they say they're going to find themselves, it never means they're going to get involved with the church, become sober, start doing charity work, maybe lose 30 pounds and really start to get themselves back together. Finding yourself is always somehow a euphemism for doing hoe shit.
So she goes through happy phase. And happy phase is where you know what she's doing. Like, we all know what she's doing, right?
Exactly.
So she gets out of happy phase. She realizes that dating now is harder. Or
Obviously.
that, hey, my life isn't as comfortable as it used to be. And so she gets...
Yeah, if you're 35 years old with 2 kids and a divorce, what in the world will make you think that you're going to be able to compete with 25-year-old hotties with no kids and no divorces? It's silliness.
out of happy phase. She realizes that dating now is harder. Or that, hey, my life isn't as comfortable as it used to be. And now she goes into regret.
Yeah.
The way she seems to do it is she'll go online and find sympathy. So there's one thing I've noticed. It always seems, maybe this is just what I've seen, but I've noticed that women that are in groups tend to be single. It's almost as if women do keep each other single.
Of course,
and there's that whole thing going around right now where the saying that women keep each other single. And I think it's, at least what I'm seeing, I think it's true.
Yeah.
1000%. It's always the single girl that's got all these opinions and got something to say and is always preaching to the married and girls and the girls in relationships.
Show you an example.
How did I know it was time to end my marriage? Number one question from women in my DMs. I'm gonna get into some pretty heavy topics in this video, so just a trigger warning. I'd say about a year before I requested a separation, started to feel my sense of self slip away. Having disassociations multiple times throughout the day, started having extreme senses of deja vu. Since learned through therapy that it can actually be a sign of anxiety, and I think I just didn't recognize it in my body because I just didn't want to acknowledge what was happening.
Yeah, here's another thing too is they always want like this like freaking like thrilling like what's that thing where people go skydiving stuff like that? What do they call that? Seeking these thrill and these like these adrenaline rushes and stuff like that, and they want the marriage to be the end all be on for all their emotional and mental and spiritual physical needs. It's like, oh, you should still have friends, you should still have a social life, you should still be involved in some type of groups, whatever it is, run club or whatever you're into. I don't know, knitting, I don't care, but you should have stuff that brings joy into your life. You should still have hobbies. So yeah, yeah, the relationship should be stable and consistent and structured. That's how it should be. That's the whole point.
Sure.
Be
Yeah.
driving around the Bay Area, a place that I have been wanting to leave for so long. I remember I would just have these moments in my car just being like, what are you doing? Why are you here? Almost like putting myself in the multiverse, Spideyverse. Like, this is not the universe that you're supposed to be in.
Now imagine if me as a man went on a TikTok and said I deserted my wife because I wasn't happy. I would be ridiculed into
Oh my
oblivion.
gosh.
I
Yeah,
felt like I had
no.
no energy by the things that brought me joy. I feel like all these emotions and all these things were compounding. And I called my mom and I just told her, like, I am so depressed. I don't recognize myself. Don't have any hope for the future. I just feel so down. That she was like, you need to come home. I never want to feel to the point that I'm that hopeless, that I have nothing to look forward to. I feel like I can't get out of bed every day. And the hardest thing for me to admit is that I am at rock bottom right now. No idea what the future is going to look like, but I know there is one. And I know there is one that I'm going to be excited about. And I know I'm going to look back at this time and be like, wow, if you got through that.
Me and, me and my buddies always joke and we say like, whose responsibility was it to make you happy before I showed up? Like, how is it that it's my job now to make you happy? Like, you went however many decades without meeting me, and then now all of a sudden it's my job to make you happy? Get out of here.
You can get through anything. You're losing yourself to the point that you don't even recognize yourself anymore. It makes sense to start questioning if this is the path you want.
So as you see, she's clearly unhappy and doesn't want to be married anymore.
Right.
But what she's doing is she's associating her unhappiness with her marriage instead of looking at herself and
Well, the problem is she's associating marriage with happiness, and marriage
Yep.
isn't about happiness. It's about
Yep.
providing stability for children. Marriage is
Dang.
hard, and like anything that's hard, if you only want to engage with it when you're happy, then you will have no longevity in it. If I only wanted to work out when I was happy, I would never be strong. If I only wanted to make YouTube videos when I was happy, then I wouldn't have a big channel, because you have to
Right.
be willing to do things when you're unhappy in order for you to have longevity in it. Marriage isn't about happiness. That was an idea made by corporations to convince working class men to buy their wives pointless shit.
seeing if maybe there's something that she's doing that's making her unhappy. So here's the first phase, right? So now she gets a divorce. And then this other thing happens too, right? Where a woman starts, like when she starts feeling unhappy and she needs that validation to get divorced, she'll go online.
Yep.
That is the quickest way to get a validation for your divorce.
Yeah.
And I have another video planned where I want to show more of that.
Can you imagine like getting advice on something as big and as life-changing as divorce from a bunch of strangers online? Are you kidding me? You know how many dumb people there are in this world? And you're just going to open yourself up to just like an open feedback loop with a bunch of strangers you never met. You haven't vetted them. You don't know if they're smart, if they're wise, if they have life skills, people skills, street smarts. You don't know anything about them. You're just gonna just take strange people with like handles, and like a lot of times they don't even got a profile pic, just a bunch of trolls and a bunch of idiots.
But so she'll go online and she'll get validation just like that
Yep.
to get a divorce. So let me show you what happens when they realize they made a mistake.
I'm really starting to question if I made the biggest mistake of my life. I wanted to post how I'm feeling because, wow, the highs are great, but the lows are really low. In 1 month since I moved into my apartment, and this is my second week on my job, now that things are quiet, I'm finding myself reflecting a lot. I just feel so painfully uncomfortable. I
Yeah.
am questioning everything. I'm really trying to force myself to remember how bad things were and how bad things got repeatedly for me to get to this point. I think I'm just having a really hard time being back at square one. Not cry, I cannot afford to buy more eyelash serum right now. Being a wife, being in a relationship, it feels so natural to me. Like putting myself out there, being single, dating,
Why'd you leave
doesn't
it?
at all. That I think I thought moving to my hometown would be really good for me recovery wise, but I'm just finding it's not. Really thought I would have family support moving here and finding that that's not the case.
Yeah, you don't have family support because you're 40 years old and everybody in your family probably has their own family that they have to
Right.
attend to. Not only that, but they know you. They know your character. They know that you're the problem. They just don't want to tell you. If you wanted family support, you should have got that from your family instead of separating your family.
It's been a really tough pill to swallow to realize I'm kind of on an island. I know so many people would die at the opportunity to have no strings attached and travel and start over and date a bunch of people, but that's just not my personality. I'm $10,000 in debt from all of this. Like, I don't know where people are just getting money to do all this stuff. I have 2 dogs that are quite literally the only things making me feel sane right now. Point, I'm just really questioning, like, if I'm ever meant to have, like, a normal, happy life, which maybe.
Imagine saying all of this after you already had a normal family. She's saying that she's on an island, but she doesn't even understand that she put her husband on an island, or at least her ex-husband. And she has to understand that not only did she decide to split up her family, she got to plan and make steps into the point where she did so. Her husband was probably just blindsided. He probably didn't even know that she was miserable. And then one day she just came along and said she wanted a divorce. Now imagine how he must feel. By the way, notice that she never talked about anything that he may have done wrong. And I guarantee you, if he did do anything wrong, she would be talking about it. So she's and she has to understand that not only did she decide to split up her family, she got to plan and make steps into the point where she did so. Her husband was probably just blindsided. He probably didn't even know that she was miserable. And then one day she just came along and said she wanted a divorce. Now imagine how he must feel. By the way, notice that she never talked about anything that he may have done wrong. And I guarantee you, if he did do anything wrong, she would be talking about it. So she's just blaming everybody for circumstances that she caused.
Sounds dramatic.
Yeah. And then look at this little thing at the top of the video here. It says, any chance of love post-divorce. So I find it very funny that she just blew up her family, just left a stable, good situation, and now she's looking for another dude. And it's like, wait a minute. If the first guy couldn't make you happy, then why would the second guy be able to? These women don't even understand like accountability and just common sense at this point. Like, if you are unhappy already in marriage, why would you want to go back out, date again, and get in another relationship and get married again? You're going to just be unhappy again because guess what? Spoiler alert, you brought the common denominator with you.
I just feel like the things that come really natural to other people are just so hard for me. I feel like I'm not asking that much. Like, I just want a normal life. I want to have kids, want to be married, and it just feels like that's not in the cards for me. It's just really
She was already
interesting 'cause
married.
I feel like the swings of emotion with this have been so drastic. Days like today where I feel dead inside. Like, I'm crying all the time on TikTok, and now my eyes are just like dead again. Multiple people in my life have told me I'm icy, and I'm just like, literally, what do you want me to fucking say to that? If you're feeling like me at any point, I just encourage you to go through my divorce playlist and look at any of the comments from people doing that
No
on a
thanks.
regular basis, and you guys have helped me so much. I don't know, I just want to be honest today because, again, like a few days ago I was feeling pretty good. Today I feel horrible.
Yeah, so she realized she had it good and she threw it all away. Now, she's not going to say that she was wrong,
No, of course not.
even though she was. So, consequences. You make choices, you got to deal with the consequences. What are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
So, then this happens.
Oh, no. She went off the
Yeah,
deep
she
end.
promotes divorce.
Yeah, it's over.
That's the next step. It's easier at the time to bring everybody down with her
Yeah.
rather than look at what she's doing and take some responsibility and actually improve herself so she doesn't get herself in this kind of condition again.
Or so that she don't convince other people to get themselves in the predicament that she's in. And that's what I think is so different about older women who make bad decisions with their sex lives and their marital lives. Like, I don't know what it is about older women who make bad decisions with their sex lives when they're younger and with their marital lives who just want to convince younger women to keep making the same decisions. It's just crazy to me. Like, when you talk to dudes,
Misery loves company. It's so funny because I remember seeing this in movies and shows and just tropes when I was younger. like the bitter single aunt, right? And to grow up a millennial and now seeing the cycle just continue is crazy work.
To have ruined their lives by making bad decisions, they're never like, yeah, bro, you should do the same thing I did. But for some reason, when it comes to older women who make these decisions, they have this thing where they have to convince younger women to make the same mistakes they made.
Misery loves company.
I'm going to show you another video here.
I am honestly really sad right now, if you can tell. That's like the weirdest thing about grief is like, didn't cry for 2 days, was good for 2 days, and now I'm by myself, and it's just like the hurricane, like it's here again, you know? It's the tsunami.
And the irony too of like, if you're so unhappy and so miserable, then what's with all the tears? Why is everyone crying and why is everyone so sad? And what's with all these videos? Like, you should be ecstatic to leave such a miserable, unhappy situation.
Is back. Like, it's just so hard, and like I'm frustrated because I, got my whole world got disheveled.
By you.
And I feel like he has moved on and he is
As he
healed
should.
and
Yeah,
moved
he
on
should.
and doesn't
Right.
care about me, which
Yeah.
I want
As
him
he
to come back
shouldn't.
into my life.
He made a commitment and an oath to you and put his money where his mouth is by going to work to provide you a life because he thought that it was you and him against the world. And you decided because you're unhappy, you're going to go and get the government involved in your love life and use the government as an enforcement arm to extort his resources from him. That's a level you can't come back from. That's damn
No.
near treason. You're damn near a
Right.
traitor. He shouldn't love you anymore. And I hope
Yeah.
he out there living his best life.
It still just sucks, I can't imagine, thank you guys for sharing stuff, like stories that you've been, like you've gotten through this and it's been however many years, because I could not imagine that. I can't imagine being with someone for a really long time and going through this, Sorry if you can hear my cat literally playing in the background. Like, I was only with him for 4.5 years, 1 year married. I could not imagine, though, being with him for longer. And this
How in the world you get divorced after 1 year, girl? You didn't even try yet. That's like less than like a lot of trial packages. Like, come on, girl. Together for 4 years, divorce after 1 year is crazy. Girl, you didn't even try.
happening, but it's just so sad sometimes. And it's like so hard to have to learn how to do life by yourself again. Like, you don't have that person to call
that
all the
noise?
time or that best friend to go do things with. And that's what scares me. I've never truly been alone and worked on myself. And I'm terrified of it.
So she divorced her husband and then expected him to fight to get her back.
Yeah.
She doesn't want him. She just wants the validation that she gets from the attention he gives
So
when he tries to get her
narcissistic.
back.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
all she wants. She doesn't want him.
And when she tries to come back, just remember, she don't want to come back because she loves you. She want to come back because she realized the world doesn't love her. Yeah, because when you in a
Yeah.
marriage and you a woman, you get a different leverage with your sex. You have sex with your husband, he start doing home projects. He start working a little harder. He start wanting to take you out on dates. When you out in the streets, your leverage ain't the same. You sleep with
No.
those dudes, and because they ain't got no commitment to you, they could just smash and dash. You do that a few times and you realize
Hit it and quit it. Fuck it and chuck it.
these dudes aren't obligated to stick around like your husband was, and you find out that the streets is cold. Why would he fight to get you back when he was already fighting to keep you? But obviously what he was doing wasn't enough. But it's okay though, because somebody will appreciate it.
What upsets her is that he's not doing that. Instead, he's moved on with his life.
Yeah.
I've noticed men are very good with this. Maybe not all, but a lot that I've seen, they move on. And that's the thing to do.
What else?
And he does the right thing. He moves on. And it sucks for her because he moved on and she didn't. And so basically, the only attention she can get is from people online, mainly other women
Yep.
that have decided to do the same thing.
Exactly.
And so she gets sympathy from them.
Yep.
She makes a video and cries and posts it, and it will get views. But a lot of times they expect the men to still try to make it work, even though they initiated the divorce. And 70% of divorces are initiated by women.
Yep.
They enjoy it when men
Anyone knows anything about statistics? That is insanity. It's 70 to 80%. It's 80% of they're college educated. That's nuts. That's absurd. That might as well be 100%, honestly, in the math world. That is ludicrous. Ludicrous.
Give them this attention. They love it when they beg for them to take them back. And when they don't, when they see the men move on, especially when they marry somebody younger and hotter, oh, they are not happy about this. And unfortunately, you can't make a woman happy. You can add to it, but
Yeah.
a woman's got to make herself happy.
Right.
And if she's putting it all on a guy or kids or something, then hey, it doesn't work well.
Yeah, nigga, get a hobby. What happened to bird watchers? Like, we don't have any bird watchers anymore. Like, everybody thinks that now they're just gonna be like doing political debates on TikTok and building parasocial relationships on TikTok. Go get a hobby. Maybe that'll fill the void. And I'm gonna say this too, and this might be a crazy take, but man, if it wasn't for women being able to divorce their husband and still get 50% of everything, it would be a lot easier for these dudes to move on. A lot of the times when I see dudes ruined, it's because they worked for 30 years building up this 401k and paying off this house and doing all these other things just for their family to be separated. They don't get to see their kids anymore, and then they lose half their money. I personally think, forget all that irreconcilable differences stuff. If you file for divorce and you can't prove that your husband was physically abusing you or habitually cheating on you, then you shouldn't get anything. I bet you'd see a lot less divorces if that was the case. And if these women wanted to leave to prioritize their own happiness, if the guys got to see their kids and keep their houses and their money, I'm sure they'd be a lot more okay with it.
I think we as women, we don't need to validate ourselves by crying and making these crying videos and try to get sympathy from people. I think we can do better, and I think we're a lot better than that. So that's my thoughts on it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys on the next video.
Yeah, 100%. I don't feel bad for these women at all. I feel bad for the men. They've worked hard. They did everything they're supposed to do. They did all the jumping through the hoops that a lot of these women ask for their men, the holidays, the gifts, the birthdays, the presents, the doghouse, just all the crap that I know a lot of these American women try to put on dudes. And they slaved away at his job, was an involved father, and then she's unhappy and blows it up. And then now the dude only gets to see his kids 50% of the time if he's lucky. And if he's not, only on weekends. But he still has to pay her child support and alimony. It's bogus. It's bogus. It's super grimy. And yeah, I don't feel bad for these women at all. And of course, to no one's surprise, they are still unhappy when they move on. Shocker. So that's it for this video, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe for more videos like this, and we'll catch you on the next one.